should I still buy Bitcoin? That's going to be the topic of this morning's video. That's what we're going to be digging into. This is literally a topic that I could talk about for the entire day. However, in an effort to keep this video brief and to the point, I'm only going to discuss 3 points. And the last point, if you stay till the end of this video, is going to be something that I believe not a lot of people are talking about and is potentially extremely scary for the price of Bitcoin. So make sure you stay to the end and watch that, because it could be considered a warning or something that you've got to keep in the back of your mind when considering your crypto purchases. Let's get straight into it. Good morning, everybody. Now, let's have a quick look at what's happening with the crypto markets. As we can see, Bitcoin still above 1 million South African rands on Altcoin Trader. The entire crypto market over the last week has had a little bit of a slump. Let's have a look at CoinMarketCap and get some dollar prices. We can see that Bitcoin is at 56,000 US dollars. Ethereum, very poor performance over the last couple of months, only at $2,332. And as you can see today, we're trying to climb up slightly, but over the last couple of days, the entire crypto market has had a little bit of a crash and things are not looking good. We're going to try and work out why this is and what could be happening in the future with the crypto price. Let's get straight into it. One of the things that I have considered, and normally, let me just explain this to you. Normally, the American political situation has very little bearing on me and my personal life. However, America, the USA, is still one of the major players in the financial markets. That might not always be the case, but right now that is the case. And what happens in the States affects the entire world, especially with cryptocurrencies. So whether Kamala or Trump become president in November is going to have a massive effect on the Bitcoin price. Looking at this article from CoinDesk, we can see that they're saying if Trump becomes president, we could expect Bitcoin to reach 90,000 US dollars. If Harris or Kamala Harris becomes president, we could see Bitcoin going as low as 30,000 US dollars. Now, I think that it is certainly an indication of the sentiment out there. We've noticed Donald Trump being extremely pro-crypto. He's doing this obviously to gain as many votes as he can, and very successfully so. We've seen the Harris camp being very quiet about cryptocurrencies, although there's an undertone that they are going to support it. The fact that they have been so quiet and haven't been forthcoming with any points is, in my mind, a negative sign. And I think the general sentiment is that if Kamala Harris becomes president, we are going to see a huge slowdown in the growth of the crypto ecosystem worldwide. Now, tonight, President Trump and Vice President Kamala Harris are having a debate. So we are going to see the sentiment coming out of that debate as to who's going to win the presidential election, which is happening in November. And that is going to be a telltale sign as to where the cryptocurrency market is going in the next couple of months. If we have a quick look at Polymarket. Now, Polymarket is a betting site built on the Polygon or the Pol ecosystem, a site that is really absolutely exploding, allowing you to bet on a number of world events, political, sports, cryptocurrency, and so on. And as we can see, Donald Trump slightly below Kamala Harris. There's nothing in it. They're both at 49, 50%. But over the last couple of days, the crypto community that are voting on Polymarket have been more in favor of Trump. And this seesaws, but it's a very good indicator, although not an official polling system. It is an indicator of what the community believe will happen with the presidential election. A site that I would urge everyone to check out if you haven't checked it out. Unfortunately, if you are in the United States, if you are an American citizen, you may not participate on Polymarket, because if you haven't noticed, you no longer live in a free country and your government will decide what websites you can and can't see. But for the rest of us, if you're in Africa, you're welcome to go to that site and look at it. It's Web3 enabled. You can bet with USDT on the site, and it's something to learn about. Quite a good deal of fun. Now, the second point that we're going to look at is with this current downturn in the price, September, as you can see here, is historically one of the worst months for crypto. So it might just be a slight bump in the road, nothing to worry about. October, historically, as you can see here with all the green, is one of the better months for cryptocurrency. So sentiment might change in the next month. We might see cryptocurrencies really performing well, which is something that we can look forward to after the September slump. Point two, maybe there's nothing in it. Maybe it is just simply the fact that it is September and we're used to seeing Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies as a whole perform particularly poorly in September. Now let's get on to the third point, the final point, which I think not a lot of people are talking about. And there's one specific area in this point which I'm going to highlight just before I end off this video. And that is the Bitcoin ETF. As we can see, we have finally reached the stage where commercial money is massive in the cryptocurrency and the Bitcoin space. We've got MicroStrategies buying huge amount of Bitcoins. We've got a lot of companies that are buying Bitcoin in abundance. Now, those companies, fortunately, are long-term holders, so there's not going to be any negative price movement as the price fluctuates because they are buying and holding for the long term. We're also seeing the amount of cryptocurrency, specifically Bitcoin, on exchange dwindle to all-time lows. Now, let's have a look at this chart here. I'll just move it up slightly so that I'm out of the way. And what we're starting to see is that these green lines are when ETFs buy Bitcoin, in other words, inflows, when the red lines are when Bitcoin is sold out of the ETF, in other words, outflows. And we can see over the last couple of days, we can see a massive amount of outflows. And this is over all the ETFs, all the Bitcoin ETFs. And that outflows is correlated directly to a downturn in the price. Now, the point that I want to make, we all think it's great that institutional money is into crypto. But the warning that I want to give out is we have never seen a sharp downturn with the power of institutional money. So what I may be suggesting is if we have a sharp downturn in the price and the ETFs panic and all the holders of the ETFs run and sell their Bitcoin ETFs, remember ETFs are backed by real Bitcoin. Those Bitcoin have to be sold on the open market so that those ETFs can be paid out. We could see a downturn like we've never seen before, a downturn with the power of institutional money panicking. We've seen a lot of upturns and downturns of retail investors, but we've never seen a massive panic of institutional investors in the Bitcoin space. And that is the warning. That is something that we have yet to see in this market. When panic hits, and institutional players with massive amount of Bitcoin and US dollars are able to sell, is that going to do something extremely poor for Bitcoin? Is Bitcoin prices going to absolutely plummet because of the power of these institutional investors? Okay, so looking at the negative, that could be the scenario. Looking at the positive, obviously the inverse is also possible. If the institutional investors see an upturn in the Bitcoin market, we could see massive spike in the Bitcoin price to the upward side. And that we've kind of seen more than we've seen the downward spike. We've seen institutional investors, you can see over here, getting excited, and we've seen the price pump to all-time highs. Remember, traditionally, the halving cycle would be sort of the first and second quarter of 2025. And that's where over the last years, we've always seen a massive upturn in the price of cryptocurrency and Bitcoin. So that could be the catalyst for the institutions to get that FOMO and to buy Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, but specifically Bitcoin en masse and watch the prices rocket. So guys, something to consider. That negativity where institutional investors panic and sell at mass, that is the warning, that is the thing that I'm concerned about. Now, although that might sound negative, those of you that watch my videos often know that I'm extremely positive, and I think in the long term, Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies as a whole are going to change the financial system as we know it, and I believe that it is the way forward. I believe it's a fantastic investment, and Although I can't tell the future, I remain extremely optimistic and long on Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies in general. I hope you guys found this content insightful and interesting. And if you did, give me a like to show me that you enjoy this type of content. That's it from me. I'm out.